You have 3 minutes to address council on something we have some control of. There's 3 lights up here, green, amber, and red. When you start speaking, the green light will go on. When the amber light comes on, you have 1 minute left. When the red light comes on, your time is expired. Tish Galoo.
Good morning.
Nope, you're good.
Good morning. I am Tish Galoo. I live in Ocean View. I'm a member of the St. Vincent de Paul Society and the Sussex Housing Group. I have been here a few times, been asking for you to consider more affordable workforce housing throughout Sussex County, having seen some deplorable conditions in a few apartments that are considered reasonably priced in Sussex. The Sussex Housing Group, as you know, is made up of multiple organizations and individuals as a coalition that fosters safe, fair, and affordable housing and builds community based on the power of the people and the place. As we have mentioned before, affordable housing is desperately needed in Sussex County. In 2020, Delaware faced a shortage of almost 20,000 affordable rental units for low-income households, and more than 54,000 households experienced severe housing problems, many households paying more than 50% of their household income toward housing costs. As you know, this leads to housing instability and impacts the entire population of Sussex County by creating public health problems and economic instability. You responded by creating the trust fund and encouraging building affordable housing like the one proposed recently in Lewis with very specific programs. This housing, along with future rental housing like this, will greatly help the desperate need for workforce housing. Please continue to support and approve housing developments and apartments that will allow our workers to live near where they work and help improve options for those working in education, healthcare, restaurants, and tangential industries. Your focus on this effort is necessary now. Thank you for listening and acting.
Thank you. John Collier. Step on down, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Morning. For the record, I'm John Collier, a resident of Milton, Delaware, also the mayor of Milton, Delaware. And today I appear on behalf of the town of Milton. Missed the button, sorry.
You're good.
On your agenda today is a presentation updating the Henlopen and Roxana TIDs. Also, you will receive a brief presentation about a TID initiated by the town of Milton. Milton sought to form this TID with the hopes that road infrastructure and growth would keep pace with one another. I've been informed that the town must enter into a partnership with the county in order to make this happen, and I'm here to strongly encourage you all to give consideration to this measure. As you're well aware, the entire region is growing, and it particularly seems to be growing, in my mind, around Milton. And we want to make an effort to let that impending growth and the road infrastructure keep pace with one another. I realize the difficulties you have with the two that you've already formed, and we're just hoping to get ahead of this instead of being on the behind trail. So Milton would certainly encourage you all to consider entering into a partnership, because that's what it must be. And I would thank you for giving it serious consideration.
Thank you for coming today.
You're welcome.
Mike Helmich.
Lewis, Delaware.
You just turned it off.
There you go. It's on.
Mike Helwich, Lewis, Delaware. Good morning, Council. I did not have a chance to finish my comment from last week, so I will take this time now to do that. I've received many emails expressing how people would not have moved into their new homes had they known about this high-density complex being built on the rural road. One that really stuck with me was a person who just moved into their retirement home. They worked so hard to build 3 days before they received the letter. Had they known, they would have built elsewhere. Dura Horton is currently building across the street from us in Tidewater Cove. After talking to the sales rep, she said, since we put our signs up letting the public know what was being built, this is very little interest in their home sales now. We have good friends who built their dream home in Wyndham, both pharmacists at BP to raise their 3 kids. Now their house for sale and way under value. They've had multiple offers back out once they find out that they will have a 3-story apartment complex looking into their backyard in this rural area. Mr. Vincent, on October 24th, 2022, in an interview, you said, I quote, "These are folks who live where they work, but often have to look miles away for something affordable." Well, this property here, this is miles away from the Route 1 infrastructure that you talk about. My office is in Dewey, kids' daycare is in Rehoboth. I fight the traffic every day. My wife is a nurse and sits in the horrible traffic to get into Lewis every day. I was recently talking to some friends from JLAM about the School Road apartments proposed on Route 24 next to Love Creek Elementary. Now, this is a good location. 4-lane roads to handle the traffic flow, sidewalks already in place connecting to this property to all the Route 1 infrastructures, and an intersection with a traffic light. I understand the Chapel Branch has already been approved. I get that. I understand the need for workforce housing and that you don't want to be the reason that a project gets shut down. I could go on with a long list of why this is a horrible location, but I'll leave you with this. In the SCPR guidelines, use a lot of words like interconnectivity, close proximity, and put a lot of emphasis on public transportation, walking, and biking to work and business. This location has none of that. Approximately a quarter mile west on Route 24, you have Burton's Pond. A huge rebuild just took place, and you still have no shoulder, no sidewalks, and no bike lanes. If you head east, the only bike lane you will find are located on the 7-mile road to the closest business. The Route 24 expansion project that is currently taking place makes the road 2 lanes from Route 1 to Love Creek, so you will have a single-lane road for 5 miles. That is no bus lane like Route 1 does to bypass the heavy traffic. After looking up DART bus data, you can easily see that this bus route is always taking much longer to travel than they expected. Hundreds of added cars to a single-lane road with a traffic study from 12 years ago, miles from infrastructure and business, further stress out our traffic situation. I thank the council members that agree with us on this issue, and I hope on future projects that you will voice your opinion before it's too late. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. There's one more person signed up, just got an address at Georgetown, Delaware, but I cannot read them. Here he comes.
I'm not sure what it is. I paid $200 for a PO box. Hit your button. Hit your button, turn your mic on.
On the mic, there's a button there. There you go. Thank you.
Paid the $200 to get into District 5. Spent the $200. I don't know the PO box, whether it's 691 or 891 now. But my point is, and I missed it last week, even by signing in, I was waiting the week before to sign in after the other people had spoke, and then I missed last meeting. Without Millsboro, Georgetown, and even with Mr. Mayor speaking about Milton, and everybody wants to complain, I don't believe that there's even a county planning member that lives in that district. I believe what Mr. Mayor was speaking about, District 5, which is Mr. Riley's district, does not have a planning board member in that district. You have Millsboro, which is such a, I would consider a major hub. I'd consider Georgetown area a major hub. I'd consider Milton a major hub. When you're at the planning board meetings, look and figure out how many live down. I'm going to go close, so I'm going to maybe wrong. But you take down by Maryland, Selbyville, I don't know what Ocean View, Fenwick area. I don't know that area that much at all. But I know it's far enough down. You have 2 members out there. You have another one in Rehoboth. You have the one in down close to Seaford in Georgetown. I'm just trying to figure out how you can have a voice for anybody in those towns and in those unincorporated districts. You have 2 in District 4 right now. That doesn't make sense why you would have them down there and not have them in the population. Because when I come here, I hear all those people, all the people coming in for public comment and at all the hearings are complaining about traffic, which, you know, you've been dealing with this for 12 years. You have no control, 0 control. You may as well just tell the people it's not our concern. It has no bearing on whether we approve the project or not. But at least if you had a planning board member that lived in that district, they may have a little bit more concern about putting in or making an expansion come in for the sidewalk, making an expansion come in for lights, have a little bit better knowledge. I mean, I don't know what goes on in Fenwick. Why would Fenwick planning board member know what goes on in Milton? It's, they may claim, we've had this argument for the last 12 years since I've been coming to the meetings. It seems like you said it's like getting ready for dinner. You take a dish out of the cabinet, you eat the dinner, you put it in the sink, you rinse it off, you put the dish back up in the cabinet. It's like this county council for the last 12 years seems like it's a wash, rinse, repeat. The same complaints that when Mr. Kramer was here, I was here, It seems like it's everything that we had voiced. You said since nobody's watching it, you've repeated back to the original platform. Thank you. Paul Rigger. It's either 891 or 691 P.O. Box, Georgetown, Delaware, 19947.
Thank you, sir.
One more thing also, too, and I still got 2 minutes, is on the county council, on the internet, there's a county map and online mapping. Please make it match where it's supposed to be. I made it aware a couple weeks ago.
Operator, would you check online, please, for any public comment?
At this time, there is no one on the line.
Thank you. We'll close public comment. Mr. Lawson.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. First item of business today is recognizing our Caroling on the Circle food drive participants. Each year we like to ask folks to attend a council meeting and recognize their efforts for donating food items or monetary donations that go towards the annual Caroling on the Circle food drive. So we do have a number of guests here today that we'd like to recognize. I've got a list here. I know our staff reached out to the organizations to ask for an RSVP to see if anyone is attending. If I have bad information, please come forward when I list your name and so you can be recognized. We'll start with Benchmark Physical Therapy. Benchmark donated 45 items.